Okay, so Anna and Alana, switching over to solving two-step inequalities. So how many steps will it take us to solve these? Two. Two steps. 2 steps to solve it. Gregory, I invite you to do what everybody else in the class is doing. All right, so if I give you let's do 30, 38. All right, so our problems will get longer. This one will take 2 steps to solve. Okay, good. So we're going to draw our bars. Okay, your goal is to get x all by itself. Your goal is to get x all by itself. According to this problem, we have 2 numbers with the x. We have the number 2 and the number 6 on the same side. We don't want the 2 and the 6 on this side. We want the 2 and the 6 on the other side. So we have to move the 6 and we have to move the 2. Now, which one you move first matters. If you don't move the correct number first, you'll get a different answer and it will be wrong. So order does matter, kind of like order of operations. If you don't do the right order, you get a wrong answer. Same thing here. If you don't move the first number, the one that's supposed to be moved first, you get it wrong. So who wants to take a wild guess? Which number gets moved first? Yes.
The one closest to x.
Okay.
So that would be 2.
Would be moved first?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yes? Why? I mean, he said because it was closer to x, so wondering why. Jay? What's your guess?
Mine?
Yeah. 6 or the 2?
So you could divide the 2 and the x.
Alright, so you want to move the 2 first?
No.
Oh. You said 2, so I thought. What do you want to move first, Jay?
The 6.
Why?
Yeah. So you could subtract the 38 and then divide it by 2.
Alright. Michelle?
The 6 because it's too closer to the sign.
Interesting. Okay, because closer to the sun. Okay, Anna?
The 6.
Why? Yay! So, I think Michelle said this. So if it was like this, Michelle, would you change your answer?
Yes.
You would say the 2 because it's closer to the inequality? Interesting. Never. Okay. I guess interesting. Okay. The 6 have it.
Yay.
Why? It's the opposite of what you said. You want to start with the number that's furthest away from the x, not the closest. So literally the opposite. And a lot of what I wanted to hear what your brain was thinking, right? Right or wrong. It's good to see like, okay, what is your brain thinking would be something mathematically correct. And you weren't far off, but it's the 6 because, not because it's closer to the inequality. The 6 because it's further away. It's further away. So, Giovanni, how do I move this 6?
What? I'm lost.
I know, because you were on your iPad.
Because I want to fail my science test.
Well,
Me too.
you're failing your math test.
I haven't even studied.
Okay. Yes.
How do we remove the 6?
How do you remove the 6?
Just subtract 6.
Yes. Yes.
Add the opposite?
Not add the opposite. So here's addition. So Lucera, what's the opposite of addition? Subtraction. So we're just going to subtract 6, subtract 6. No, because it's not the opposite number. The opposite means the opposite number. All right. So 38 minus 6. What is 38 minus 6? 32. 2x. Now, mathematically, how do I move the 2? Yes, division. Very good. So I'm going to divide. I'm going to divide by 2. I'm going to divide by 2. So what is x equal to? Or x is greater than, what's 32 divided by 2?
60.
So x is greater than or greater than 16. Open or close circle.
That's easy.
So you will be solving this in 8th grade. You'll be solving them in high school. They will get longer. They'll get longer in this class. They will get longer in this class. So it's pretty cool. It's one of my favorite things to teach.
Why?
I don't know, honestly.
Maybe because it's fun.
It is in a way because you're solving like a mystery. Like you're solving, okay, what does X go in here?
Oh my gosh. I don't have any eraser and I wrote
Okay,
it down.
okay. X divided by 5 minus 10 is less than or equal to 45. Now again, we're showing our work. We're learning, Ben, how to show work because when these get really long, it's very hard to do mental math. Very, very hard to do mental math. Okay, what is your goal? Your goal is to get X by itself, right? Your goal is to get X by itself, Darwin, so pay attention. Because you're not only doing this for this 7th grade class, that may or may not matter. You're doing this because you're going to have to do this in high school. And in high school, you have to pass math with a C or better. D's don't count for passing. So you have to pay attention. Excuse me?
You have to pass the test or...
You have to pass the class.
Oh.
If you get a D or an F in high school, you have to, in math, you have to take the class again.
Why? Does that apply with the other subjects or
Math, because math is so special.
just math?
Okay, which number is furthest away from the X? The 10. The 10. So the X and the 5 are like, you know, they're sharing this line. They're really close to each other. The 10 is a little further away. So the 10 is the number that you moved first. So right here it says minus 10. So what's the opposite of a minus 10? So plus, not positive, plus 10 plus 10. This ends up canceling out. It ends up being 0. You're left with X over 5 is less than or equal to. What is 45 plus 10? 55. Okay? Now we would be done if we were on 1 step, but we're on 2 steps. So now I have to move the 5. How do I move the 5? Giovanni. Well, I taught you how to do this Tuesday.
I wasn't here Tuesday.
There's a video.
You should get off your iPad. I checked it wasn't.
What?
Oh.
Let's check.
She was about to take that attendance stuff.
No, I actually checked yesterday. It wasn't there, but I don't know if you posted it after.
I stopped it with you, bro.
Yeah, I did. There it is.
No, see, that wasn't there yesterday.
Okay. What time did you check?
During class.
Oh, did you tell me?
Wait,
No.
No, he did his do now while he was in his house.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't think she's
Why weren't you here yesterday?
Well, we're just gonna ignore. We're just gonna ignore.
Wait, why would
Because him and I are having a conversation.
I got X's.
All right. So, what does this line mean?
Division.
This means division, Anna. Thank you. So, what's the opposite of division?
Multiplication. 275.
Okay, what's 55 times 5?
275.
275?
Yes. And now that is your answer. Wow.
That is right. No, there's one more thing I gotta teach you. All right. Michelle, what is the difference between this problem and the problem I just gave you before?
Now the 3 is dividing with both.
Very good. Now the 3 is dividing both of them, the x and the minus 7. Okay? Question. Which number do we move first?
7. Positive. Because it's close to this X. No, the 3 is actually,
the X?
We don't want to move the x. X is fine right there.
Oh, then
Yeah.
7. Oh,
None of them.
The 7 because
None of the above. Both of them.
the 7 because you want one thing in each thing. You can't like.
It's farther from X.
Oh wait.
Literally.
I say the 7 to move it.
That's what you
because
taught us to.
you like on the other problem how we like multiply or divided.
Okay. Yes.
I say the 7 because it's a negative. It's -7.
It's not negative.
Oh, it's just
You did?
Because the
Divide
7
it
is part
one
of
by
the
3.
Okay. So, oh, man. Do you see this one? The 5 is only dividing the x, right? So it's x divided by 5, then it's a -10, right? Here, Michelle quickly realized that the 3 is dividing everything, right? So there is a clear difference between this problem and that problem, right? So, question still is, which number do I move first? Most of you say 7, and it is not 7.
It's
because
X.
it's the negative.
3.
No, move that.
We don't move the x.
Oh, it's 3.
We want x by itself. Now, technically, could you move the x?
Yes.
Yes. But it's kind of like, I'm going to pick up the trash. Here's this piece of trash over here. Here's a trash can. There's the trash. If you want to move the x in this problem, all you're doing is doing this. Oh, I picked up the trash.
Oh, girl. You did such a good.
You just did more work for yourself. Did you get to the bottom of like what x is? No, you just kind of like.
Basically, move the trash can.
Made it harder for you.
I thought you were gonna move the money. You have to move the trash can on top of the trash.
No, yeah, you put it on top of the
Yeah.
trash.
So we don't want to move like moving the x. You could mathematically, and I will teach you how to move the x when it's appropriate, and making the trash in the trash can.
Miss, the trash is literally like the X. Like the trash needs to stay where it is.
Yes.
But you should move the
X
trash
marks
can
the
on top of
spot.
the X.
There's treasure inside of
So
So it needs to stay where it is, but.
so here's my trash,
That makes little sense.
and you want to do this.
Yes.
No.
You
Put
put
the
the
trash
trash
can
can
on top of it.
What? You said put the trash can on top of
Problem
the
solved.
Wow.
Thank you. So I have a master's degree
Yes.
right there. Spent a lot of money on that. All right. So I have on my neck. Okay. Shh, listen. When it's written like this, where everything is being divided, that's the number that's just a little bit further. You're going to move the 3 first. Okay? Most of the time, 99% of the time, it looks like this. 99% of the time, it looks like this. You move the 10. When it looks different, when it looks harder, like this, move the 3 first. How do I move the 3?
Multiply it.
You move it.
You got to use the math.
Multiply it.
By multiplying. You got to get used to using the words that you're doing. You got to use the verb. I am multiplying. That is my verb, multiplying. So what am I left on this side? What trash is left on this side?
The trash can.
X minus 7.
X minus 7 greater than, what's 10 times 3? 30. Now what?
Now you add 7 and add 7 on 30.
Problem solved, guys.
X is greater than?
37. Wow. Problem solved.
I feel like Michelle knew that the whole time.
My mommy says I can't have things like that. Why?
She did recognize that. It's a very good thing to recognize that everything's being divided by 3.
Michelle's being a trash.
So,
Get off the game.
Girl, why?
I don't think it's...
Get off the game.
All right.
Just
You could do it on your own, though.
She already finished
The only new part is which number do you move first, but you should know how to multiply by 3. All right, Michelle and class. Ben, let's write this down without talking. Thanks, appreciate that. Seriously. Let's try that. Okay, so Juan, we're focusing. We're focusing on paying attention, not talking, not distracting our neighbors, and understand. So did you write this down?
Yes.
Okay. Ben, were you with me, Cook? All right. What number do I move first?
4.
Good. How do I move it? What math do I use?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. Because right now it's dividing by 4, so you're going to multiply by 4, multiply by 4. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. Very good. All right.
That was easy. It's gonna have a negative, right?
Okay, what am I left with this side? X plus 10 greater than or equal to 2 times 4? 8.
No, minus 10 and minus 10 give you x is greater than or equal to negative 2.
The first problem was complicated, now it's gonna be easy. This one too.
Is there, wait, so there's 3 different ways of doing the 2-step?
Yeah.
Or not moving that way.
So this one's the of 2 steps. This would be the hardest one because
Okay.
you're welcome. Here, this makes a huge difference. So the fact that you're recognizing that it's like dividing everything by 4, and I gotta move the 4 first. This is level 5.
Wow.
Wait,
Okay.
so
Yes.
if we're so the worksheet, right? If there's only like 2x and like plus 6 greater than 38, like the first problem we did, that would be regular and how to solve it. And then the second one, if there was like x divided by like
5.
the numbers on top with the x, that would be the level 5 2-step.
Yeah. So like this would be level. This would still be level 4. I mean level 1.
What's level 1,000?
More negatives.
You got negative?
Well, we just had a negative right now.
If there's 2 negatives,
So
that
we just
equals
went
a
to
positive.
the 1,000 and came back.
Yeah, because well, I wanted to see what you guys would tell me with level 5, which is the whole dividing by the big number or the number on the bottom. I wanted to clarify that, get that out of the way. Now this would be back to level 1, level 2. You'll see this 5,000 times. You'll see this over and over and over and over again.
Question.
Not.
X is what is it?
Which one do I move first?
3.
3. So do you see the difference between a little tiny division and then the big division?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the biggest like moment that you have to go, oh.
Wow.
So this one, the 3 is moved first, not the 4. Clearly, the 4 is really close to the x. 10 minus 3.
3 is
7.
And then how do I move the 4?
Multiplication.
Times 4 times 4. And x is less than 7 times 4, 28. So this is 7th grade. This is 7th grade. Yes.
That's 8th grade. I remember. Oh no.
8th grade, I will, maybe tomorrow.
Can you make one for now? A little one.
Okay, let's do this one.
What? Oh no, we're cooked. Estamos cooked.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute.
Ben, what do you need? Oh. Looks simple enough, right? Negative x plus 1 is less than 4. Why is she calling this an 8th grade problem? I don't understand.
Because I have a negative x.
regular one. Can we just add a positive
Flip
x?
it around.
Oh my gosh. It's actually negative 1x. But then you can't
'Kay.
plus x on 3.
What do I do first? What's the first easy spot?
Negative 1, minus 1, minus 1, and minus 4.
So 3 less than negative x. Some kids would say I'm done,
Yeah.
but I'm not done. Because Sam, when I see a negative x, what do I really see?
A 1. Negative 1.
So it is really a negative 1x. So what number do I have to move?
The negative.
The negative 1. The negative, right? So how do I get rid of a negative 1 times x?
Divided by negative 1.
Divided by, because this means multiplication. So what's the opposite of multiplication? Divide. So when you see a negative x, it's really a negative 1x, but the 1's invisible. So you're going to divide by negative 1 by negative 1.
Won't you have to flip the...
And you have to flip it, and then your answer is negative 3.
This is 8th grade.
That's 8th grade.
This is easy. I know.
So this one's 8th grade because you got to remember when it's a negative x, it's really negative 1x. It's 8th grade because you have to also remember to flip it. This is the only time we flipped.
How did? But like, I'm confused. How did you go from positive to negative?
Because I divided by negative 1.
Wait, so if they're gonna be equal then?
No, actually, because we wrote on the wrong page.
It's alright.
Alright.
Dorito Man. Positive, negative, positive, negative. What do we have left over? A negative.
I don't get the real man. The real man makes I still have to go compare something.
Backside. Backside. Backside.
Wait, what were you reading?
Yeah, I did it big. Backside. Good luck on your science rock test. Are you feeling good after your shot? No arm burn. I had a shot too. Have you ever had a vaccine through the nose? Interesting.